Yeah, I mean, we'll have to have more minutes from him, but we're confident that he can do the job.
What enables Draymond to facilitate so well? I mean, we know about the speed, but what has he picked up maybe a notch in this series?
I'm not sure he's picked anything up. I mean, he's been great throughout the playoffs. I think the biggest thing when Kevin is out, Draymond's going to have the ball in his hands more, so that's probably what you're seeing. He just has more responsibility on his shoulders. What I'm pleased with is keeping the turnovers pretty low. He's pushing the ball like crazy without turning it over. And that's the key, because if he can generate that kind of pace, but we can still get into our offense if nothing's there. We're still going to get good stuff. So as long as he's under control and pushing the pace, we're in a good position.
Coach, do you think this series is kind of like a set a tone for the comparison or the discussion of the backcourt?
Excuse me?
Do you think this series kind of like already set a tone for all the discussion of the backcourt in this league?
Our backcourt?
Yeah, your backcourt and also their backcourt, like Damian. Yes.
Yeah, it's two of the best backcourts in the league for sure. Tremendous talent out on the floor all at one time, and they're all fun to watch. I have so much respect for CJ and Damian, and watch them a lot. During the year, enjoy watching what they do, and then watching our guys obviously is a pleasure. Coaching them every single night, and to see all these guys playing against each other is amazing.
Damian had a rough start to the game last night, but how do you
Damian Jones, yeah.
Yes. How do you get him back to where he needs to be and give him some meaningful minutes in the rest of this playoff series?
Well, he hasn't played much in a long time. I put a lot on his plate. We knew it was going to be short minutes, and we just wanted to get his athleticism and speed on the floor. And, things are moving pretty quickly out there, especially when you haven't played in a while. And so he did fine. It was just the fouls. There are a couple cheap ones in there, but then he bit on the pump fake, and that was the one that sort of cost us a little bit. And then we went to Looney and JB, and they came in and did a great job. But Damian's just got to keep playing. And, that was a great experience for him last night. And he's got bright days ahead. But it felt like a good opportunity to offer him, and it didn't go great, but he'll learn from it.
What's the difference in scheming up to face this guard, centric offense in Portland compared to last series, which was guard centric, but I guess kind of Houston runs their offense differently?
Yeah, it's just a different team. That's the biggest thing is, with both Houston and Portland, it's a 5-man. Defensive effort, like it is with most teams, but you just feel like you have to, when you go into these series, you have to look at it strategically, like how can we best make an impact in a positive direction for our team. What does that mean? What's the best way to approach this? And for every team, it's a little different, and so our defense against Portland is much different than it was against Houston. But that's how we kind of see the matchups and see the game plan.
How much different would it like if you're facing a team that's either got a big kind of is the center of their offense or a forward? How much, I guess, different is your scheme have to tilt towards if it's not up top?
It's hard to answer that. I mean, it's every team is different. Every game plan is a little different based on personnel, based on combinations that you're facing, but you see patterns, and that's why we have our advanced scouts, and that's why we do so much work in the playoffs ahead of time, like every team, as opposed to the regular season when you're just kind of moving on from one game to the next. So you just have to try to get a feel for what the other team's best at doing and make that as difficult as possible, and then take your chances from there.
Steve, when you looked at the tape, did Myers Leonard just have a really good game, or did you guys make things a little too easy for him?
No, he played really well, and he hit some big shots. And this is the NBA. You got great players everywhere. Every team's got talented players, and so it's a matter of what are you willing to give up? What are you trying to accomplish? And you can't stop everything. So he hit some shots and made some big plays, played really well for him.
Steve, what do you like about Quinn Cook and his personality and what he brings to the locker room?
I like Quinn's, just his poise and professionalism. You know, it feels like he's a 10-year vet, even though he's only been around for a couple of years. I think it has something to do with having the full college experience at Duke and staying all 4 years. And he's just very mature, very wise. The guys love him. He works his tail off every day, and he makes the most of his opportunities when he gets them, and then never complains when he doesn't. So it's exactly the kind of guy you need off the bench.
Is he unusually popular for a guy on the bench? It seems like you said the guys love him. It seems like they really love him.
Yeah. It's important to have guys on your bench who are popular. Does that make sense?
Speaking from experience, you, right?
Yes. I think it's, I guess what I mean is, the guys on the bench have to understand their role. They have to embrace it and succeed in it, and support everybody else when they're not getting a chance. And when that happens with a guy like Quinn, the rest of the team sees that. And what's tough is when you've got bench players who are, upset that they're not playing. And that's the difficult part, because everybody wants to play. So when you can find the professionalism and production of a guy like Quinn, it's a huge find.
Injuries aside, do you feel like you guys are relatively fresh right now, given that given that you're at this stage of the postseason?
I don't know if fresh is the right word, but we're in a good position, and trying to make it through this series. And obviously with Andre's injury, we're further depleted. So we're not fresh, but we're fighting through everything, and we've put ourselves in a good spot.
What is the schedule?
Just watching film, and then an optional gym time, no practice.
And what you're getting?
It's a good question, because I want to watch Milwaukee and Toronto too. So good thing I have HBO Go.
You
You should do an endorsement.
You just did.
I just did. I didn't get paid.
did you hear Draymond give James Laughlin a shout out last night in the presser?
I didn't hear the exact quote, but I heard he did.
It's kind of a cool moment for a guy who's lesser down on the.
Oh yeah, we were giving James all that crap in there. It's great. No, it's nice. It's nice. We've got a lot of people who do a lot of work to help the team prepare for these games, and our video crew probably works harder than anybody. And James does a great job, and so it's fun to see Draymond give him a little love. Great, thank you. Thank you. Draymond will be here shortly.
Starts at noon.
That's back in